Okay, let's dive right in. Today we're taking a close look at a really popular tool for digital artists, the Huion Kamvas Pro 16. We're going to deconstruct its product page and figure out what all those specs and marketing terms actually mean for your art.
But first, let's just start with a big question. For any of you artists out there, what really separates a good digital canvas from a truly great one? Is it the screen, the pen, the way it fits into your workflow? Well, we're about to see how the Kamvas Pro 16 tries to answer all of those.
So, let's kick things off at the very beginning by just understanding what this product is at its core.
At its heart, it's actually pretty simple. The Kamvas Pro 16 is a 15.6-inch pen display. Now, what that means is, unlike an old-school tablet where you draw on a blank pad and look up at your monitor, here you're drawing directly onto the screen, right onto your image.
Okay, let's get to the most important part for any artist, right? The actual core drawing experience. We're talking screen, color, and of course, the pen. This is the stuff that matters.
The screen itself is kind of built on 4 key pillars. First, you've got that nice big 15.6-inch size, which feels really immersive. Then you have a full laminated screen. We'll get to that in a sec. It's got anti-glare etched glass, which is huge for cutting down annoying reflections. And finally, it has a slight texture that gives you just enough resistance to feel good, kind of like drawing on paper.
Now, I mentioned that term full lamination. So what does that even mean? Well, it means Huion got rid of the air gap between the glass you're touching and the actual screen underneath. For an artist, this is a game changer. It basically kills parallax. You know that weird effect where your cursor looks like it's floating under the glass instead of at your pen tip? This makes it feel way more natural, like you're drawing right on the pixels.
Of course, what you draw has to have the right color. This screen covers 92% of the AdobeRGB color space, which is a big deal for professional print work. But it also boasts a 120% sRGB gamut. That means it can display colors that are even more vibrant and saturated than what a typical monitor can even show you. Your work is going to look exactly how you want it to. So how do you control those colors? With pressure. And get this number. This pen has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity. That is an absolutely incredible amount of control. It lets you go from the faintest, thinnest little sketch line to a big, bold, powerful stroke just by changing how hard you press down.
And the pen has a few more tricks up its sleeve. For one, it's battery-free, which means you never, ever have to think about charging it. It also recognizes up to 60 degrees of tilt, which is perfect for getting those natural shading effects. Plus, it has 2 programmable buttons right on the side, so you can keep your favorite shortcuts, like undo, right at your fingertip.
You know, all this technology is really working toward one single goal, which the source material puts perfectly: accurate and responsive performance and virtually lag-free tracking. That's really the holy grail for any digital artist, a tool that just disappears and lets you create without a fight.
But a great drawing feel is only half the battle, right? Let's move on and see how the Kamvas Pro 16 is designed to actually streamline your workflow with customization and some smart ergonomics.
Over on the side of the display, you'll find 6 express keys you can customize and a touch bar. These are total lifesavers, designed to keep you from constantly reaching for your keyboard. You can set them up for your most used shortcuts, undo, save, switching tools, and then use that touch bar to do things like zoom in or change your brush size on the fly.
Comfort is also a huge deal, especially during those long drawing sessions. So the tablet comes with an adjustable stand that lets you set the angle anywhere between 20 and 60 degrees. This really helps cut down on neck and shoulder strain. And as a nice little bonus, they include a 3-in-1 cable that combines power, data, and video into one cord, which just makes your whole workspace a lot cleaner.
So, you're ready to start drawing, but what do you actually need to get up and running? Let's cover the really important stuff: setup and compatibility.
Okay, let's just address the single biggest, most common question people have about these devices right off the bat. Can you use this thing all by itself like an iPad?
The answer is a simple, clear, and very definite no. This is not a standalone computer.
And they are very clear about this on the product page. It says, quote, "This device must be connected to a computer/laptop to work." Think of it as a second monitor for your computer, just one that you can draw on. All the software, all the processing power, that's all coming from your main machine.
Now, as for which machines it works with, the compatibility is actually pretty great. It supports Windows 7 or later, macOS 10.12 or later, and even has official support for Linux, specifically Ubuntu. So most people are covered.
To get it connected, your computer needs two specific things: an HDMI port for the video and a standard USB port for the pen and power. Now, if your computer doesn't have those, so you have a newer laptop with only USB-C ports, don't panic, you'll just need to pick up an adapter.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's try to boil all of this down into the most important takeaways. What is the Kamvas Pro 16 really at a glance?
Well, first, it helps to see where this model fits in. The product page compares it to a newer V2 model. And as you can see, the core stuff, the resolution, the weight, it's all basically identical. The main difference is the pen technology got an upgrade in the newer version. So what that means is, with this model, you're getting that fantastic drawing feel we talked about, but often at a more friendly price point.
So to wrap it all up, what the Kamvas Pro 16 offers is this amazing combination. You get a really natural drawing feel from that laminated anti-glare screen, you get beautiful, accurate colors, you get a super precise, hassle-free pen, you get tools to speed up your workflow with the shortcut keys, and you get comfort right out of the box with that included stand.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. We've deconstructed all the specs, we've translated the marketing terms, so the final question really isn't for me, it's for you. With the screen, the pen, and the workflow all combined into one package, is this the right canvas to bring your ideas to life?